Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairymuppet. Welcome back to another episode of the Shapes 2 calculator. Now, we've actually copied this entire thing over to here, so I'm just gonna have a look at this to sort of make sure that it's working. So yeah, it should look like this: 1001101. I only just hooked it up, so there's probably still going to take a little bit of time for all the belts to get pushed through. But it looks like it's going correctly. So that should be 1001101. One triple zero 0011. I'm not sure I remember that. Maybe it was. Okay. So anyway. So yeah. 11 100 101. I like to copy these builds around so I can refer back to them. Obviously, we need to be able to refer back to them for copying and pasting and blah, blah, blah reasons. Anyway, this is it's going to take a little bit of flickering, but it should get back onto the correct result. It should. Okay, so we have successfully done addition, subtraction, and multiplication. And in each case, the inputs have been 16-bit numbers. So that's a number up to a maximum of 65,535. And we can add, subtract, and multiply numbers of that magnitude. In the case of multiplication, the maximum number we can get is a 32-bit number, which is just under 4 billion. Or just over 4 billion, technically, just over 4 billion. I can't remember the exact number, but it's probably like around 4.5 billion, something like that. Wonder if I can just do it on my calculator. 2 to the power of 32. 4,294,967. 296. So we can't actually get up to that, but we can get pretty close to it. And we got this sweet little 32-bit display. Before, all we had was a 16-bit display here. Now, well, technically 20-bit, because it could do this bit over here. Now we've got a full 32-bit. So let's talk about division. And of course, let's talk about long division. Okay, it's going to be long division is going to be how we do this. So for anybody who's wondering how you do long division, first of all, you learned it in high school. Or I think it's high school. I don't think you learned it in primary school. Maybe primary school. But anyway, so you have a number. Let's say 2. Let's put these out in binary numbers. So so let's say and we're going to move this over so it's actually lining up. So this is 3 and this is 8, 12, 13. So this is 13. If you can imagine a number here, this is 13. And this is 3. So these are zeros and ones. That's a 0. Yeah. So actually what I'll do is I'll make the space belts the 1s, and then the space pipes will be the 0s. you can kind of see. Is there nothing else we can put at this level to sort of distinguish it? Not really. You know what, we'll just leave it blank for the zeros, that's fine. So what you do is you do stage subtraction. And what's interesting about this is attempted subtraction. So in some cases you won't actually do a subtraction. So in here, we try and do a subtraction here, it doesn't work because there's nothing over here. So this is 1, this is 3, 3 is greater than 1, so it won't work. Then we do, and then that means the remainder is actually, so when you do the subtraction, you've got the amount and you've got the remainder. So in this case, we tried to subtract 3 from 1. 1 was the remainder. And so that remainder just gets tacked onto the rest of the number, and then you go down a stage. Now here, the result is 1, and the remainder is 0. So this is actually a really bad example because now our number is this. So we've added this 0 here to this remainder 0 here, and we got nothing. And then we also got nothing here. So basically, the result is 4 with 1 remainder. That's our remainder right here. Let's actually do a different example because this was a bad example. Let's move that over there. Let's delete that. Let's delete those. Okay. So let's do 2. 2 into here. So nothing happens here because this is just a 1. So this just then becomes the remainder. So remainder is 1, added on to 0 here. So now that's 2. 2 into 2 is 1. So we put a 1 there, and then we got 0 remainder. Now, we got 0, 1 for these two. 0 from the remainder, this, and then that is 0, 1. So that's a big old 0 there. And then we tack this remainder, which is 1, and that becomes 1, 1, which is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. So that goes in there 1, and we've got 1 remainder. So this was 11. So if we divide 2 into 11, we get 5 and a remainder of 1. Now, if you wanted to do decimals, what you would say is, okay, this number right here, we're just going to keep going. So that's the line. So we'd say, okay, this, and then this 0.0, and then this becomes a 2, and then because 2 is divisible by 2 once, you put a 1 up there, and then suddenly you have 5.5. Because in base 2, this goes down a half, and then a quarter, and then an eighth, and then so on and so forth. So this becomes 5.5. So we have the option to do decimal points here and all sorts of other stuff. So that's how we do long division. Now, here's where it gets really, really interesting. Now, you'll notice here that I have been doing everything in binary, right? Which is a pain in the ass because I have to have a little binary calculator on another tab that I constantly type things into. Here's where it gets interesting, because using division is how you calculate, is how you convert a binary number over to a decimal number. Okay? All right, you with me so far? So we take this number and we divide it by 10. And 10 is 1010. 1010. So you divide this whole number by 10. Whatever the, and let's, I'm not going to do the long division in my head, but whatever the number is, so you take whatever the result is, and you put it up here. Let's say it's whatever that is. Let's say that. It's not, but let's say whatever it is. And then the remainder is going to be some digit that is 9 or less. It's going to be somewhere between 0 and 9, because obviously you're dividing by 10, so the remainder is going to be less than 0 to 9. This is now the bottom digit in a decimal number. And then you take the result, you divide it by 10 again. And the new remainder, whatever it is, let's say the new remainder is like this, that just becomes the tens column of the decimal number. And so this first result was actually the total amount of tens in the number, which if you've got the number that's like 1,234, then this would be 123, and 4 pops out here. Then you take 123, you divide it by 10, you get 12, and 3 pops out here. And then you take 12 and you divide it by 10, and you get a result of 1, and then 2 pops out here. And you take 1 and you divide it by 10, you get a remainder of 1, and 1 pops out there. And that's how you convert a binary number into decimals. And we know here that we have a 32-bit number, which is a maximum of 4 billion. So we know that if we're going to convert this to decimal, we need to divide it by 10 9 times at the very most. And then whatever the solution, the result at the end will be no more than 4. It'll either be 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And so we don't need to divide that anymore. We can just set it out. But we just need to take this binary number, divide it by 9, divide it by 10 9 times, and then we're all good. And here's the interesting thing, actually. I did the investigation and I figured it out by myself, but the idea I did not get by myself. So there's a blueprint on the Shapez Discord called Calculator V1 by a person named Fulton, and he or she wrote a calculator, which I actually got the blueprint for it in here. I was looking at it, and it's pretty impressive, but at the same time, we're going to take a quick squiz on it. So yeah, this is kind of the input area, and then all of this is not actually doing any calculation. It's just converting it converts this number, which you're actually inputting as decimals, and it converts it over to BCD, which is binary coded decimal. So you've got one number here. So this is, I think that's 10, or maybe I've got it around the other way, in which case it's 5. But that's a binary coded decimal because you're coding the number 10 in binary. And so you've got 3 different stacks here and 3 different stacks there. And then they're actually converting it into a shape and using all this stuff to convert it into a shape. I don't understand any of this logic. There's some addition and subtraction over there, which, I mean, hello. Well, I think they're actually doing, I'm not sure what they're doing here. Are they adding using stackers or something like that? It's very interesting stuff. If you actually want to go through and inspect that at a very low level, Calculator V1 on the Shapez 2 blueprints, I couldn't quite figure out what was going on there. So I just left it, but yeah, the fact that it was converting between decimal and binary made my ears sort of perk up. And I was like, okay, you know what? If they can do it, then maybe I can do it. And then I was like, I just did a Google. It's like, how do you convert it? Oh, you do division. What was I planning on doing next? Division. Okay. That sounds good. That sounds like the stars are aligning a little bit. So this is going to be our plan. Our plan is to write a division engine, and then once we have the division engine, we are going to write a converter to convert it from to convert the final result to decimal. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to have I don't think I'm going to have the input, to be honest. I don't think so. Maybe we could make like some sort of purely signal converter, and then send it through here, and it sort of automatically figures out what the shape is that's being sent off. And then, yeah, well, at the other end, it's going to be a purely signal converter, because it's going to take these, it's going to convert them to decimal. And in case you're wondering, you can send a wire through with a number, but it has to be, the only way you can get a number is by doing this. So the way we would do it eventually is you do something like this. And then you have a gate over here, which is 8. You have another gate over there, which is 7. And then you activate them at the right time. And that's what I said before, BCD, binary. So you convert this by doing long division, dividing by 10. The remainder is automatically a BCD, a binary coded decimal. So then basically you just take that signal, whatever it is, those 4 signals, 4 zeros and ones, and you basically just put them inside a giant switch statement. And you would say, okay, is this bit turned on and this bit turned on and this bit turned off? If so, then it's 6. Or it's a 9, or it's a 5. And you would just have a whole bunch of ands or ors or whatever the hell you want to do. And you would produce some sort of signal which activates the gate, which pushes out a 9. And that's it. So we'd have a simple little 2x2 block that takes in 4 signal lines and then puts out a single signal on the other end, which contains one of these numericals. And maybe we could even squeeze it on a 1x1, I don't know. But before we do any of that, we need to actually get the division working. Now, I have a circuit diagram on that same website, which is, honestly, it's confusing. It's got a lot more things in it. Well, it doesn't have a lot more things. It's actually got less things, but it's still confusing. Because the diagram is a lot smaller. If I click on it to zoom in, it shows up some interesting animation, which I don't really understand. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start by blowing this away. Okay? We're just going to, well, we're not going to completely blow it away, actually. I want to leave some bits, but most of it, we're going to blow away. So, I'm going to blow this away, going to blow this away, going to blow this away, going to blow this away. Okay. Now again, with long division, you kind of start over in the top left, and then you move from left to right, and then you move from up to down. So we're going to be doing it in reverse again. Which we did the same with the multiplication. Now, this, for the sake of, well, when we did the subtraction, the one on the right was the number that we were subtracting. And now it makes sense for this number to be the one that we're dividing by. So, let's get a nice juicy number to start with. Not that one. So this is 11. Do I want 11? 11 feels like a little bit too much for my head to get around to start off with. Let's do 5. That's not 5, that's 7. Let's do 5. Okay, so that is 5 going over here, and then over here, we're not going to have 3. We're just going to have 2. Go away. Okay, so that's 5 divided by 2, which has a result of 2 and a remainder of 1. Maybe we should do 3 divided by 2. That's even easier. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. 3 divided No, let's just keep it as it is. 5 divided by 2, that's fine. Now, I got to sort of understand this diagram a little bit, which I'm not doing a very good job of. So it's basically, the thing we need to understand is attempt subtraction. Yeah, attempt subtraction. It's kind of what we want. So and the variables are not named correctly. Okay. So we have a few different ones. We've got X and Y, which are the specific bits. And then we've got an output select one. Now here's the really interesting thing. With the output select, all we can do, what we can do here. Okay. Let me just, my brain is frying a little bit. I'm trying to understand this circuit thing, and I'm not quite getting it. So let's have a look at the subtraction logic over here, in which, actually, let's just copy that entire thing. But yeah. Okay. So we actually worked out the whole logic diagram for this ourselves, which is kind of interesting. Okay. My mind keeps returning to the idea of having to subtract the entire thing at once, which you definitely don't need to do. So we're going to start off. I think what we're going to start off is we're going to start just building a subtractor for one bit, which is kind of what this is currently doing. It's taking two inputs and the negative carry. Now, we kind of need, I'm not sure if we actually do need the negative carry. We kind of do, but I kind of don't want to put it in there. Okay, let's just go back to the original example here. So we got this, and this one goes up like that, and then this is the least significant bit. So it goes up and goes across like that. Okay. So basically, maybe I'll just do this diagram, just actually write out the diagram, even though I don't understand it, and then see what happens. The thing is, I don't actually understand a lot of the notation in this diagram. Let's see, what's... Okay, so B... So I think B is the negative carry. It would be better if I could actually... Yes, X and Y are the things that both go in, and then B, there's a separate B, and then the B just gets sent over, so... Oh, okay, so I see. Can I just open this? Oh, I can just open it. All right. The diagram was a very weird sort of animation, and you click on it, and it does all sorts of weird things, but it actually hides half of it down the bottom of the page, which was not as useful as you might think. So, but I just opened it as an image on a new tab, and now I can see the whole thing nice and clearly. Okay. So basically, let's talk about the inputs first. We've got one input and we've got another input, and we are dividing X by Y. So this is X going up here, and this is Y coming along there. This is starting to get very hectic, so I'm actually going to start labeling stuff. Just so it corresponds with the diagram I'm actually looking at, because otherwise things are going to get very bad very quickly. So here's the thing. And I know how it's supposed to work at an entire block level, because we're taking 4 in, we're taking 4 in from this side. And then I know what the output should look like, because if you're dividing, say, 12 into 4, then the remainder is just 4, and the output is 0, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, maybe that's what we should do. We should just forget everything. We just have a single layer, which means we are dividing a 16-bit number by a 4-bit number. And we don't even worry about dividing by an 8-bit number. We just don't even go there. We can do that later. All right, that's it. Okay, that's nice and simple. We're dividing any length number by a 4-bit number, and then we'll worry about the rest later. There is a way to do it, but we'll just worry about the rest later. Yeah, my cough is definitely not good today. Okay, so it's got this variable bi. Oh, I see. It's got this, there's this little bar over the top of the variables. I had no idea what it, but it's a not. Okay, so the bar over the top is a not. It's also got a D quotation mark, and for some reason I thought the quotation mark was a not, but it's just, there's like D and D quotation mark are separate. This is probably not very entertaining video, because I'm just spending half my time looking at this diagram trying to figure it out while the video is just recording. That's all right. It's going to be worth it in the end, okay? It's going to be worth it in the end. So, now this should probably look, is that really an XOR? Okay, well, it's going to look kind of similar. So we XOR this, and then we have this guy. And this is BI. So this is coming from the previous cell. I don't exactly know what BI is. We might just call it negative carry for now. Yeah, I think that's negative carry. And this will probably be instrumental in that OS thing to figure out if we're actually going to be doing it or not. Because if we got a negative carry all the way over here, then it's like, no, that's not going to happen. All right. All right, so we've got this one going over to here. And what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, so this one gets XOR'd with you guys. Let's get XOR'd there with this input. And that becomes D dash. So this one, basically, this is where the OS comes in. So let's actually move this over a little bit. So basically how it works is like this. So we need that, and we need a NOT gate. So basically, this signal that comes in through is our little OS. So operation selection, let's call it. Output select. Okay. So basically, if this is 0, then we don't actually send through anything. Why am I putting an AND gate there? I don't want an AND gate there. I want a gate. Okay. Yeah, I want a gate. I was using an AND gate because that's what they were using in the diagram. Okay. Okay, you go over there, you go over there, and you go up like this. That's not right. That is not right. Can't believe how much I'm screwing up this bloody diagram. Okay, you go over there. Okay. Now we're good. So this is basically the way it works. So if we put a 0 in here, this gate gets activated, and all we do is just send this signal on. And if this is a 1, then this one gets activated, and we send this signal on either way. So yeah. And this signal is kind of saying whether this number is bigger than this number. And I'm not sure if we do that on a per block basis or whether we figure out the OS for the entire thing and then send it back through all of these guys. I really don't know, to be honest. I'm kind of falling into this 4x4 block thing again, and I'm not sure if I should be. But we are going to do it bit by bit. And we're going to hope that the same logic that worked for the multiplication is going to work here, where we can just do it bit by bit, and then we get 16 of these blocks, and then it just works on a 4x4 automatically, like magically. And hopefully it does. Okay, so now we need to get this equivalent bit. We need to figure out what this one is. So this is not X, which is that one. Not X and Y. And this time we're using the and. Not X and Y. Or this one, which I've kind of trapped myself. I don't know how to get that signal out anymore. That's all right, we'll get it out like that. Or this one and X or Y. So that goes like that. Goes like that. That one goes like that. Theoretically, that's what it needs to be. Okay? I don't understand this logic. I really don't. So anyway, that's our output. Boom. Why is this happening? Oh, of course, because we're still sending a shape through. Let's just do that there. That gives us a 1. We didn't need to do that for the other one because we weren't using gates anywhere, but now apparently we do. Okay. And this output select, I'm still not sure what we set it to yet. So if you go over to there, you go over to there. I don't like having a 5 there. 5 is too many digits. Let's just send a 3 over. Let's just send a 3 over. That'll be nice and simple. I feel like these need to be going up somewhere. So let's just say these are set to 1 at the moment, because we know that 3 is greater than 2. So it means we can basically hook these up. So the X okay, that's interesting. So this Y propagates all the way through, but the X doesn't. The X does not propagate all the way through. Which I guess kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. So what does that mean? Does that mean that you're going out like that? Perhaps. Perhaps that's what that means. I don't know exactly if that's what it means. It doesn't seem to be changing the result any. And this result is definitely not what I was expecting. Okay. Oh, God. What are we doing? I'm so confused at the moment. This is what happens when I just copy things from somewhere else that I just don't think about. I just copy it. I mean, it worked for the multiplication, but then again, I really understood the multiplication. It didn't take me too much to get my head around this one. This one is definitely doing my head in. So let's take it back, because we know we're doing attempted subtraction. We know we're doing attempted subtraction, and this is attempted subtraction from 4 minus 4. 4 bits minus 4 bits. So maybe the grid is the entirely wrong approach to do here. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to think the grid is the entirely wrong approach to do here. Okay. Let's get rid of the grid. Yeah, okay. Okay. So now we might be cooking with gas. Okay. So let's put a clipper on there, a clipper on there, and we remove this one. Yeah, I got confused because the diagram I'm looking at is a grid, but I don't think we actually want a grid here. So at the bottom 2 digits, and now we got 1 and 0, which is the correct result. Well, I say it's the correct result. We want a remainder. We definitely want a remainder out of here. Well, I mean, let's just be quick. Let's just be fair. This is like 3 minus 1 is 2. We're not getting 2, we're getting 1. But 3 divided by 2. So this is 2, remember? 3 divided by 2 is 1. 3 minus 2 is also 1. So, I mean, as a subtraction engine, this is doing the correct job. As a division engine, where's my remainder? That's what I want to know. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look. So we got this. Okay. I think I see what's going on here. And I don't really like it. I'm looking at this diagram more and more, and I'm realizing that this wonderful diagram I'm copying off does not actually do long division. Because you're supposed to... Where's my diagram? You're supposed to start here and then go from left to right. I think this one's actually going from right to left. I really think that's what it's doing. Which I don't like. I really don't like what it is doing. And it's also... So yeah, the B that comes out is supposed to be the result. And there's nothing coming out of the B, which I don't like. I mean, here we got these two, and this is, maybe I screwed up because this is, goes over here. Yeah, B is the actual result. So in this case, B should be something positive. I mean, we're not doing anything wrong by feeding it in there because it's just fine. Let's have a look at the diagrams. Where we put 2 1s in there, then yeah, it comes out as 0, 0. We put 1s in there. The problem with this thing, the signal is connected to the borrow output of the most significant 1-bit subtractor. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really understand this because I'm sending 1 into both of them. And if I turn that off, suddenly that becomes 1. Which I'm not sure if that makes sense. Okay. So I like this diagram, but then again, I don't understand it. So we're going to have to think about... Okay. Maybe we go back to the drawing board. I think I could probably figure this out without this diagram that we're referring to. So maybe we'll try that, and we'll reserve the right to go back to that diagram if we decide we need to. So I'm just going to move that diagram over here, and we're going to start scrapping it. Okay. This bloody cough. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do subtraction. And at the end, it's going to be 4-bit subtraction. And at the end, we just want to figure out what's going on here. Do we have this negative carry at the end? If we do have a negative carry, then the division isn't working. So we've gone, I don't know what order that one was in, but we're going back to this method of doing it. Back to this method where we start over here. Which is interesting because this isn't the most significant bit. So maybe... I really don't want to do this though. Because here's the thing. We're either going to have to do 16 blocks of subtraction in here, or we're going to have to do what? We're going to have to do 16 blocks of subtraction in here. And let me explain why. Let's say we're putting 3 here and 4 over there. We do the subtraction. If it fails, then we have to shift this across 1. Oh, wait a sec. Even when we do long division the normal way, we still start with the most significant bits, don't we? Oh, what a pain in the ass. Yeah. Maybe the way I was... So even the way I was doing it before was still the most significant bit. Maybe that was my problem. I didn't quite understand the diagram. Okay. We're going to go back to the old way. Because, yeah, I started going into doing this and suddenly I realized we need like 37 blocks or something on this bloody thing. So we're not going to do that. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this, I just literally, I just understood this and what this diagram means. I was trying to half-ass it before. I didn't understand it. Okay. So, to actually do this, we're going to have to get crazy here. We're going to have to get really, 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 really crazy. That's why they've got that extra zero. Okay. So this bit on the right has to be the most significant bit of the entire number. So a 16-bit number has to be the most significant bit, which I don't like. I really don't like, because that's reversing my whole thing. That's reversing my whole thing. Okay. New plan. New plan. We're going to, instead of reversing in both directions, we're just going to reverse it in one. So that means that 1, 2, 3, go away, 4. So this bottom, and we're actually going to, you go over there, you go up here. Yeah, you go up there. Get rid of that. Okay. Now, this is our number. This is going to be our number. And then we've got, this is the thing that goes into it. So this is going to be changed over to 2, 2. Okay, and this is the number that we are dividing into. Now, for the sake of stuff, we're just going to pretend those ones don't exist, but they do exist, and this is the least. This is the lowest bit over here. For now, this is going to be 3. So we have exactly the same thing that we were dealing with before. So, this is 2. And I guess we're going to want the least significant bit down the bottom. So, like that, and then that's right, isn't it? I completely lost track of what I was planning on doing. Okay, so you there, 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 and then, okay. That feels pretty good, and then this one just goes like that. So you are 2, so 2 is down the bottom here. You are not behaving. Why are you not behaving? I could have sworn I fixed this. Oh, I didn't fix it. Or maybe I fixed it for a different platform. Anyway, 3 is now... That's fine. We want that to be on that one anyway. So yeah. So now we're dividing 2 into 3. This will become 3 very soon. There we go. Now, here's the interesting thing. If we're dividing into a 4-digit number, we actually need 5 blocks across. Well, to be honest, I don't know if we need 5 blocks across. It says we need 5 blocks across. I'm not sure if I'm gonna. I mean, we've got room for 5 blocks, barely, but it does seem to want to put 5 blocks across. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Well, I say let's do it. Let's figure it out first. Okay. You guys go away. I'm not so sure that this actually feeds into this anymore. Well, I mean, I am sure, but okay. So this is our X. These are our X. This is the big number that we're dividing into. So this is these ones down the bottom. And then this one is this one over in the right. So we can mess with this later, but let's actually send them up here because I think that's going to be interesting. So we send this guy, go away. So we're going to go through it 4 different layers. And each layer we're sending in the same Y, but we're sending in slightly shifted X's, I guess you could say. So let's do it down here because I'm gonna move it around later. So we start off, and we don't actually start off here, but we start off with this one going here, and then these all being 0. Yeah? And then we basically send the Y in. Basically send the Y in. And this we always kind of got my belts reversed a little bit, my things reversed a little bit. And that's fine. You can go like that, and you just go like that. Okay. That's nice and easy. You go like this. And we almost want to just run that down the entire thing, which is kind of weird, but that's what we're going to do. Okay. So let me just get this sorted. So you go like that, you go like that, you go like that, and you go like that. So that then becomes here, and becomes, you go away, becomes here. And then this one goes up like so, and it goes into there. And then we leave all three of these other ones blank. Yeah. Now we do have a remainder coming out here, which is interesting. Which I suppose is a negative carry, which is not great. Wonder what happens if I just pop this one in there. I mean, I'm not sure if that is really the right idea. Probably not, but yes. So anyway, basically, this is the top of the number. So if we do this, we get rid of that, we get rid of that. So this is saying we're dividing 2, 0 into 0, 1. And we got nothing. But we got a remainder. Yeah, we got a remainder. Why is this one? I'm not sure this should be 1. Oh, well, it's probably 1 because, well, we definitely messed up that input, but it's still 1. So, yeah, I don't know. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter that it's 1 because we know that there is a carry over here. Yeah. Working out if we've actually got a negative carry properly here is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Let's just be honest. You need to be a crossover. Seems to be a bit of lag when you copy drag like that. Just hold down Control V and drag the thing along. Okay. We've lost our carry. I'm not sure what happened to that, but it was there before. Did I mess up the belt somehow? You are good, you are good, you are good, you are good. Nothing going in there. This one goes in there. Maybe I had the wrong belts in there before. It definitely looks a little bit messed up. I mean, we had something before. We actually had something. What did we have before? Now I'm just losing my brain here. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why we had something. Yeah. So, because we were only hooking this one into there, which is what I think I said we had to do, because we're doing the first part, which is just this into 0, 1, 2 into 0, 1, and it becomes overloaded. Yeah, I'm really annoyed that this wonderful algorithm that I'm looking at just doesn't tell me what OS, how to calculate. It says each subtractor calculates the difference between two numbers, but if the result is negative, the operation is cancelled and replaced with a subtraction of 0. Okay, so we're going to have to do something up here. We have to do something up here, which I'm not super happy about, but we're going to have to do it. I just crossed those. Why is it still... Oh, we got to cross at these other places as well. Okay. So we're going to move all these carries over. All of them over. Which is not great. Do we even need to link the carry over to the next one? I'm not sure. Okay. So you go up there. And then you're the most significant bit. So I'll send you down like that. You go over like that. You go over like that. I don't like this. It was looking kind of clean, but well, technically we don't need that last one because we got this one here, but maybe I'll do it anyway. It was looking kind of clean, but it's not looking so clean anymore. So basically, okay. We need to sort of spread these guys out a bit. Just a bit. Okay. And then we do a cross here. And we do a cross here. And I did it for the wrong ones. Okay. You need to go over to here. So this will be true if one of the top ones is ready. So then what we do is we do a gate. And we're going to gate on the bottom carry. So we only care about the bottom carry if all of the top ones are broken. Now we go over to here and we send that through again, and again we're going to put a knot and we're going to put a gate, and this one is for here. And that's going to gate through this carry if these two are false. Now we just need one more. We don't actually need this one, do we? That one's irrelevant because it's the least, is the bottom bit, so it's completely irrelevant. Okay, that gives us a little bit more space. And this one, we gate it if and only if this one is false. And you're not needed any further above there, are you? And you're not needed any further above there. And we just not you, and we can move this entire mess down one, although we have to make sure we don't mess up that gate. Okay. So those are our 3 carries, and of course we've got a 4th carry here. Which we're just going to say is this one. So then we say or, and of course a cross over there. And then we not this. And then this, we send all the way down. And that becomes our activation. Our activation thing. So in this case, we're false because it's not good enough. We don't have enough. We got a negative carry from something that was too high. So this one did not work. Okay. So now that was the 1 into the 0, 1, which didn't work. Now we do the 1 into the 1, 1. So we're basically doing a shift. So let's copy this entire mess. And I just realized well, first of all, let's shift this up a little bit because I want these guys to be inside the block. And I also want them to continue going on. I didn't realize. I knew they had to go on, but then I forgot. So let's get some crossovers. Yeah. We need two up here, which will make these a little bit easier, actually. So let's take all of these. That was a little bit annoying. Okay. Okay. No, I got it. And then this one goes here, and this one goes up like that. And then you go there, you go there, and you go there. Well, okay. I believe that's still good, and then you continue on, you continue on, you continue on. So that's producing a false result. Now we don't have a lot of room here. I would have liked to have fit them all squarely in. But basically, whatever this result is, now shifts over to the next one. So what I'm actually going to do is I'll put that like that. And send it past there. And then this needs to be across. and then you need to go up there. Okay. And so we need that one to be there, just for the whole copying and pasting thing. Whoa, what did I do? Okay. I guess technically to make it fully tileable, we should include that bit as well. What else am I missing? Oh yeah, because of the way we're doing these belts, we can't actually make it fully tileable. That's really annoying. I like it when things are fully tileable, but in this case, we got to send these 4 ones over here, so we can't make it fully tileable. Oh well, we'll just have to do the best we can, I suppose. And that one just goes nowhere. That's interesting. That one just goes nowhere. Okay. So this output here is D, which is the same input. So we put in 1 here, and so we put in 1, and we tried to divide 1 by 2, and we came out with a remainder of 1. Okay. That is fine. Now we copy and paste. Now what's happened? Now instead of just putting in 1, we're putting in 3. Ah. So you see here, we've still got a remainder of 1, but this time this thing is on. So this OS is actually the results bit. It's actually the results bit, which is nice. And we're already down to lowest digits, so we don't need to do any more. But technically we need 2 of these, and then the very bottom one will have this bit all the way on the right going over and into this bit down here. But we got the correct result. So this is 0, 1. Yeah, this is the result. 0, 1. So 3 divided by 2 is 1 with a remainder of 1. Okay, I'm going to do a slightly more complicated example. So that's 2. Let's do 10. No, let's not do 10. Let's do 6. Let's do 6. 6 I think we can be happy with. And we actually need to copy this one more time to be able to do 6. Do we need... I could copy it 2 more times. Two more times is a little bit whack, but I mean, we do technically need to copy it 2 more times. And then we need to send this one up here, this one up here. And then this one, we're running out of room, so we'll have to send that over the top and down there. Okay. So we got 6. Now, what am I doing? I did the wrong one. It was supposed to be 6 divided by 2. I ended up doing 3 divided by 6. That's not good. That's not good at all. Updated the wrong one. I'm used to this one being the bigger number. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering why 3 was a remainder, and then I realized we were doing 3 divided by 6. And of course, 3 divided by 6, the remainder is 3, which makes sense. So, okay, you are going to be 6. You... So this is 6. Well, that's not 6. That's something else. I know it is. I just got to wait for the right number to spew out. I got confused because that's up the top. Okay, 6. And this is 2. So you are good. And we got 9. 9 coming out at the moment. Maybe we'll just check that. It's got 1 popping out. And 0, 1, 0, 0. I don't quite Oh yeah, because it starts off with the top digit. So that's actually right. That was actually right. 1, 0, 0. Because 9 divided by 2 is 4. Did we actually make a block that works? I think we did. Okay. Let's have a look here. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 1, 1. And no remainder. Holy bejesus. We actually did it. Using this really complicated bit of logic off this circuit thing that I don't fully understand, but let me try and run through it. So we've got 6 here. So we start off right at the top, and we just imagine there's 3 zeros here, and we take this digit, and we say, okay, does 6 go into it? It does not. So we take this digit, we move it over here, and then we pick up the next one. So in this case, for 6, it is 0, 1. And we're just trying to subtract 2 from it. So this is 0, 1. Does it work? Still no. So then this signal is false in both cases. Then we move it across. And in this case, we've got 1, 1. So now it's 0, 0, 1, 1. Because we had another 1 over there. But even if we didn't, it still would have worked. So 0, so we had 1, 1. So 0, 0, 1, 1. Does 1, 0 go into it? Yes. And this is basically it. This is basically just a subtraction engine. It's an overblown subtraction engine with a little bit added onto the end to, yeah, to basically choose whether to do the subtraction or not. Yeah, I mean, let's actually have a look at, where's my subtraction engine? Let's have a look over here. So yeah, we've got an XOR and we've got an XOR. We've got 3 different inputs to the XOR, and then we've got a bunch of ANDs to get the carry. Now in this case, this thing is taking 3 inputs. It's taking 1, 2 inputs, and then the carry, the negative carry from the last one. Here, we do have a negative carry as well. And you can see the negative carry goes into, gets XOR'd twice and then pops out into the result, which is here. And then we're also ANDing this, which is one signal, and the other one is the negative of this, which is a little bit weird. And then we're ANDing also the XOR with the negative carry. Yeah, it kind of gets a little bit weird here. I don't fully understand it. And I don't think we were doing that over there. We did have a couple of knots. These are knots that we sort of pulled out of our butts, but yeah, we were knotting one of the inputs. And I think it was the bigger number. Was it? No, it was knotting the number that we were subtracting. Yeah. So yes. Look, if we did a logic table of this, it would probably make sense. I'm not going to do a logic table of this because I just don't want to. It's plain and simple. But it bears a striking resemblance to our subtraction logic with a little bit of tweaks here and there. But it's still got three inputs. It's still got a negative carry that it's passing across. And we're still using the negative carry as we're passing it across. But then we're also taking the negative carry and we're using it not only to decide if the subtraction worked, and if it did, that we should actually subtract and send the subtracted result, but we're also using it to decide what the, is it a 0 or 1? Because it's division. So if the subtraction works, then you output a 1 and you say it worked. And if the subtraction didn't work, then you output a 0 and say that the division didn't work. Yeah. And I guess, is this ever going to be 1? This one over here? Well, I mean, this is 0 right at the start. So it's only up here. Yeah. Because this number basically is going to be the top digit of the X number. So this one's only ever going to be 1 if you're trying to divide like 12 into 8 or something like that. Because then, yeah, if you're trying to divide 4 into 8, then this remainder is going to get cut down a lot earlier. And so you're going to end up with a 0 going into this one a lot earlier. But if you're trying to divide 12 into 8, then basically this 8 just goes all the way through to the remainder, and all of these are going to be 0. But yeah. And just to clarify this logic, this entire bit over here is basically just to figure out, did the subtraction work or not? So this line is if there's a carry after the first one, if there's a carry after the first number, and we only care about that carry if all of the top 3 digits are 0. Yeah, which I'm not sure how that actually works, but I'm not sure that's actually possible. Because wait, which are we're showing it. Okay, now that does make sense, because if this one is spitting out 0 in here, and the thing we're trying to divide is 1, so if there's 0 here and 1 here, then that's going to end up with a carry. So we've got Like if we've got 2 divided by 1, or 1, 0 divided by 1, then you're going to end up with a carry here, and you're going to want to turn this on. So 2, 0 divided by 1, in that case, it is a valid result. So we put a false down here, which means we send this 1 on. Because in that case, that's the first thing, and that's like a divide by 0 error almost. It's not divide by 0, but it's kind of like it's like 0 divided by 1. That's what it is. It's 0 divided by 1 is literally what will make all of these true, but the carry true as well. And then we've got this situation where we've got a carry because we're dividing. In this case, it literally is 0. So we're dividing 2 into 0, and we're getting a carry, a negative carry, because it wants more. So in that case, yeah, we just send it on through. Now in this case, we're sending on 0, so it doesn't really matter, but yeah. For this one as well, we're dividing 2 into 1. So yeah, that one's got a carry as well, which gets sent on through here. But there are no more carries, because then over here, we finally get to the stage where we're passing in 3 and we're dividing 2 into it, which works. And there is no carries going on. It's just a 1, because obviously 3 minus 2 is 1. And then over here, we got this one, which is 1, and then we got a 0, because the last digit is 0, and that becomes 1, 0, which goes into there perfectly. So we got another true over there, and we got no remainder. So 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3 exactly. Now, if we change this, I know this is a very long episode, but I just want to do one more test. Actually, 2 more tests. Now that so let's put in 3 instead. So this should now be 1, 0. I'd be interested to see what the logic looks like for this one. 1, 0 instead. Well, I guess because that's going to make sense, because, yeah. So this one's producing 0 remainder. So you're putting in 3, 1 here and 1 here, and then you get a 1 back, but there's 0 remainder. Before there was a remainder of 1 here, which then went up to go 1, 0, but now there's 0 remainder. So all you've got is this being 1 and 0 there. Now, if we go over here and change this to 1, just 1, suddenly we should have 6 being output. Yeah, should have 6 being output. I can't believe we got this in the first episode. I mean, okay, granted, hour-and-a-half episode, my bad, but yeah, we got it in the first episode. So yeah, 6 going in, divided by 1, 0, 1, 1. It's a thing of beauty. I tell you what, is a thing of beauty. Now that I actually understand how this diagram works, and I apologize if you're not seeing the diagram, but if anybody asks for it, I will link the website that I've been going over. So yeah, there's never any remainder. These are all just null, because we're never putting anything in. I mean, I could put a signal producer that produces 0 here, just to make these look nicer, but it really doesn't matter. See, there's never any remainder. This is 0, this is 1, and 1 goes into 1 fine, so we do get a carry of true. Well, there's no carries, so this one just becomes true. And there's no remainder, and again, true and no remainder, And then we've got no signal left to put in here because there was never any remainders. So there we go. 6 divided by 1. And we're going to do one more test. Maybe 2 more tests. I just want to keep testing. Really, I mean, 6 divided by 6. That should just be 1. Oh, we already got 6s there. That'll be nice and quick. Whoosh, over the space belts it goes. Over the space belts it goes. There we go. 1, 0, 0. Look, it's a thing of beauty. I'll tell you what. Yeah. We just got remainders building up because 6 is so big that there is always a negative carry. Like here, we actually got multiple negative carries, but only one of them gets activated. This one doesn't get activated because this carry is fine, because this carry goes over and there's another input over here. So this carry gets processed correctly, but then there's another negative carry that goes over to here, and this one, the inputs are both 0. So that one is like, hey, there's no 4th digit, but I want a 4th digit. So we have to go over here and we have to turn it off. And the same thing happens up here. And the same thing happens up here. It's just negative carries. Even when we go up to 1, 1, because we're putting 1, 1 in here, we're putting 3 in, and 6 is still too big. And then finally we're putting in 1, 1, 0. And at that point, the subtraction works perfectly. It spits out zeros and it spits out a 1. So that's it. That is it. We have done it. We have done a block. We don't need those to continue on with, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we could send, no, we'll cut these ones off here. We'll cut them off here. We won't say that we need them anymore, because we definitely do not. Is that what they were? That's what it was doing. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we don't need those going off anymore. So yeah. So basically all we need now is I guess we send these 4 down here. And this remainder, we need to do something with this remainder, which I'm not sure what we do about that remainder yet. I have a funny feeling because you remember, that's why they had the 5 blocks. Okay. They actually had 5 blocks in here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. I was wondering why they had the 5th block. I think I know now, because you can have potentially 4 remainders. And so you send these remainders basically go up, go down, go around, and then they start joining in here, 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 and well, there's not a space for the last one, is there? So that's why they had 5 blocks. I don't think I can squeeze in 5 blocks. Oh, I mean, I could, kind of. But yeah, so basically this is just, this shape goes through there. The remainder goes over the top, down, and it's this one, this one, this one, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that diagram a bit closer because I don't quite understand how that works yet, but we're going to call it here. We have done division, a 4-digit number by a 4-bit number dividing a 4-bit number, and it works, and it's beautiful. Tomorrow, well, maybe not. Next episode is going to be, well, for you guys it'll be tomorrow. For me, God knows when it'll be. It'll be figuring this out, multi-block. Still just dividing a 4-bit number. We're not going to go to dividing 8-bit numbers, but I want to go up to a 16-bit number dividing a 4-bit number. So 62,000 divided by 9, potentially we're going to have the answer next episode. Or you can just take the easy way out and use your calculator. But, all right, we will be back then. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys later.